God knows what you need. If you believe in God that much, he knows what you need. If you want prayers, I understand that. Like, if you're dealing with a severe situation and you want people to reach out, cool. But I've done it, right? Because I've said, send me prayers, right? But it's usually for something
negative,
serious. Like, it's not like negative. Send prayers because I just got fired.
My boyfriend.
Like, I'm having a hard time because I can't get away from my abusive girlfriend or my abusive boyfriend. Like, get over it.
I don't like his laugh.
Everybody hates my laugh.
I don't know what's going on.
My mom's like, that is so evil.
I don't know what's going on, bro. That just makes me feel a little uneasy inside.
It's not a bad thing.
I feel uneasy.
It's really not a bad thing. Well, come on. You got to do the intro. Like, what are we?
Welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to Talk Hard Podcast, where we talk hard about everything.
Specifically recovery and mental health.
And those things as well.
That's
yes,
like
we
the
do.
Primary focus.
My name is Marty Norman.
This is Brian Gordon.
Welcome to the show, guys. Glad you're here. We got a great show for you. I hope you are going to send this over to your friend, like and subscribe. The button is right down there. If you don't do it, you're probably going to drink again.
Oh, jeez.
I'm kidding.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Woo, I'm kidding. What we talking? Look, man, I seriously, you asked me at the beginning of the show if I trust you.
Do you trust me?
Yes, I do. Well, yeah, I do. So what are we talking about today?
So over the past couple of episodes, and if you haven't heard them, go back and listen, and you'll gather more of what I'm speaking to here. But I've heard you say in the form of, I have an incurable disease.
Yes.
I want to change the language of that.
I know you do. All you freaking people out there just want to change language.
Not in a bad way, right?
We just want to change. We can't talk about that.
No. Well, let's be realistic, though. Like, it sounds like doom and gloom.
It does.
You have, in reality, in my opinion, a competitive advantage.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because you are wired as an addict. And as an addict, you can choose to let it go one of two ways, good or bad. Unfortunately, for the majority of us, bad. Primarily because of the way the brain is wired is the easier road, right?
Easier, softer way, yeah.
However, I want to change that so that people understand the power of the addict's mind and what you can do with that kind of a drive. The same drive that got you anxious and scared and all these things because you weren't prepared to handle those things can actually take you to where, like we are. We're using the same thing. You have mentioned that you wake up still like irritable, restless, and discontent
every morning.
I no longer do.
Right.
But I am like, you live in, no.
Look at you.
You live in the space of recovery and I don't. So I believe that's actually the biggest difference is that you have to watch this every day. So it's very difficult because you deal with a lot of the unfortunate negativity that comes with being inside of the community, the tragedy that comes with it. Yeah. So it's difficult. However, you're doing great things with it. So for me, I don't wake up that way anymore because I choose to wake up a different way. And so I'm using my addict brain to become addicted to me.
Yeah.
I am now fully addicted to me.
So you're turning your defects into assets.
Absolutely.
100%.
I'm already screwed either way. Why don't I just go back out then? Like, if it's not curable and all I'm going to do is fight for the rest of my life against this, then why?
Well, this is very valuable to understand too, because this is a thin line, right? It is a mindset. Mm-hmm. I believe that I personally suffer from a disease that has no known cure, but it has solutions, and I like to say solutions, right? It has many different solutions to the many different character defects, which is the root of all of our evils, if you will.
Yeah.
While I say when I go into meetings that I'm an addict, which is in itself a negative connotation. I'm an addict. Why? Because we view addicts in a negative light. I'm an alcoholic, so that's viewed in a negative light. But why I say that is so I don't forget. I don't forget where I am and who I am and what I'm capable of doing, right? It's a humble reminder to myself and to everyone in the room that I am this far away from a drink. I'm one bad decision away from a drink. I'm one life on life's terms away from making horrible, bad decisions, which will lead me right back into, if I was cured of my addiction, and this is the the thin line, and this is why I promote this, and this is why I speak the way that I speak, is because when somebody in early recovery says, basically that they're cured, they're recovered, or that, that they're good now, if that's the case, they can go ahead and drink again. They can have control. Okay. They can learn if it's got a cure to it, then you can learn controlled drinking. For me, it just takes one drink and anything controlled or manageable is out the door.
Okay.
And I think what we could look at differently is the connotations behind the word addict and the connotations behind the word addiction or alcoholic. Mm-hmm. If we want to change something, that's the things we can change. Like for me, I heard somebody in early recovery tell in a meeting say, I am a grateful recovering alcoholic. And I thought, he's grateful to be an alcoholic. That's right. Just ignorant. That's I don't understand that for a minute. I wish to God I wasn't an alcoholic. I prayed that I could drink, because I see people when they're drinking, and I see people go to the bar, or they go to the bar after work and they have 2 or 3 beers and they go home and live their lives and get up for work the next day. Or I see people go out to dinner with their wives and they have a couple glasses of bourbon, or maybe a glass of Chardonnay. Mm-hmm. A little Chardonnay. Chris liked that. But and that's all they do, right? That's not an alcoholic. And if I get cured from this disease, that means I can do that. And the only reason I know that's not possible is because I've tried it 1,000,000 times to pull that off, right? Okay. I've tried 1,000,000 times to pull that off. And that's why in a lot of scenes, I say, hello, my name is Marty, and I'm in long-term recovery, which gives a little better positive affirmations to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or grateful recovering addict, not recovered addict.
So here's the thing. Here's my rebuttal to that.
Okay.
Most of the people that go to a bar to have even a few beers before they go home are not very happy.
They gotta go home to the wife,
right?
And the screaming kids.
They're trying to get a little grasp of escape before they have to go deal with life again.
Agreed.
So on their own level, it's still some form of a base level addiction because they're escaping, right? They're trying to find a way out of something for just a minute before they can get back. And although they don't go off the deep end and call their dealer and go do meth and heroin and
show up
the 9,000 other things, right?
Yeah. That's
that
what I do,
doesn't mean that they're still not trying to escape.
Yeah.
Those people, for me, the reason why I say I don't wake up that way anymore, and the way that I look at it as like the solution, okay? Because I am still an addict. I am still a workaholic. I am still a gym rat. I am still addicted fully to myself.
I gotcha.
The difference is once you reach that level, you don't even think about going to a bar. I ain't got the time to go to a bar. I got too much good stuff going on to stop by the bar for 2 beers. That is just a waste of time.
I know, and that's the thing about recovery is it has very little to do with the alcohol or drugs, right?
Right.
Real recovery, and what it has to do is finding these things in your life that take up so much time in your life. Mm-hmm. It's like replacing unhealthy crap with healthy crap.
Right.
Same addiction though, just like you said, with the gym,
absolutely,
with the with the work, with this, with that, whatever it may be. It's finding, because I believe that we're always going to have that personality trait that and you're right. You said it at the beginning. You're right. Like, I couldn't understand why that guy said he was a grateful recovering addict. Mm-hmm. He was grateful that he was an addict, or he was grateful that he was I get it now. Because there's something inept inside of us, whether we was born with it, I don't know, or whether we acquired it through years and years of misery and chaos and surviving, which is typically what we do. We survive, especially in the later years of our addiction. We're just surviving. We're just getting by. We're scratching and crawling just to take a breath. Just to feel something different other than sick, right? That's survival mode. So, but in that time, like you put an addict or an alcoholic in a job, you give him a chance, you give him a little bit of purpose. You give him, or her, I'm sorry. I'm speaking from the male point of view. Yeah, and I am a male, just so you guys know. Never mind.
But you put her in an opportunity. You put her in an opportunistic place. Yeah.
Watch what happens.
Yep.
We have spent 20 years, 10 years, 5 years out there in the madness when nobody believed in us. Nobody gave a damn about us, man. And when you finally come in and somebody believes in us, first it's going to seem odd and weird and like, what's he want or she want?
Right.
And we know what she wants. Chris. No, that's me. I always make a joke. That's a character defect. But no, you give us a shot and watch us. We will work our fingers to the bone. We will not stop. We will come in early. We'll stay late. We will get the promotion. We will do everything in our best of our ability because most likely no one has ever gave us a shot.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So
that's not the same for everybody though.
For me, it's like the way that somebody the other day expressed to me that their kid is autistic. And I was like, so you have a genius. Because that's the way I see it.
That's the way I see it too.
Right? Like,
special.
I have met people with Asperger's, autism, all on that spectrum, and it is fascinating.
They are.
I'm jealous.
They are.
I really genuinely am.
Yeah.
Because that level of things, Elon Musk, is a level of genius that is like, dang, like you can do numbers in your head on a level that is just unbelievable to me. And other things like the way that they can analyze their space, and people are like, yeah, but they're very socially awkward. So are you, idiot. Like, so are you, and you're dumb.
That's what the world needs is more sociable people. That's what we need.
Right. Oh, well, they may never feel loved. If they don't understand that, stop looking at the negative.
Yeah.
If they don't understand that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
To me, that's how I feel about it. And I'm not dogging on them. I'm like, dang, you have got a gift.
Yeah.
And for those that embrace it, and for those that have the parents that embrace it, it turns into something amazing. And I want the recovery community to understand that too. A lot of them see it as, well, I'm screwed because this is the rest of my life and I'm just going to be fighting. So I might as well just go out with a bang.
Yeah.
And that is not the truth.
I get that.
The truth is a choice. Just like people that are predisposed. I met a gentleman about 3 weeks ago, found out his whole entire family has cancer. He doesn't. I said, why do you think that is? He said, I just don't believe I'm supposed to.
Love it.
And it was that simple. I believe that just that simple thought in his head. So the epigenetics in your genomes and how you're wired and how you're actually physiologically built, right? Your brain can change all of that.
I agree.
It has been scientifically proven. And so this whole thing that we're preaching on with the power of the mind, and man, I swear by it on such a deep level. I want these addicts to understand you're special. Like you're genuinely special. You have a drive inside of you that is not like others. And if you're in recovery right now, keep going, because as soon as you get over that hump, watch out.
Everything.
Like, watch out.
We talk about this all the time, like making a 5-year plan and like your first year of recovery. And I didn't do it, but I've talked to people who had done it, and like they totally sold themselves short. You know what I mean? Because you what you can acquire, the gains that you can make in recovery and in your life and in your business and careers and relationships and friendships and just all around serenity and peace and spirituality and whatever you get into, like the gains that you can make in that are unfathomable. You know what I mean? Because of that drive inside of us.
Yeah.
You know, like we would have done anything to get that next buzz, to get that next fix, to get that next drink.
It scares me more to think about, like, I still have using dreams. Like, I still have them.
Yeah.
And I wake up like, whew.
That's funny. I had one the other day.
You know, but it's still that thing. Like, when you say I need a reminder, I will never forget. I don't need a reminder. It's burnt into my subconscious. Yeah. It is there. I know that if I get stressed out, the reality of doing something to relieve that does nothing. I'm aware of it, but I have spent 5 years deep in myself to rewire the way that I live. And so in the scientific term, they call it activation energy. It's the amount of energy that it takes to get a force moving is more energy than it takes to keep it moving.
Inertia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the activation energy, once you've started through that path of recovery, the longer you go and the harder you push, the easier it gets. And once you get up the hill, You go from pushing a car to riding in the car.
Yes,
That car becomes a convertible, and then it turns into a race car, and then it's just a dream. Like,
and then you lose some stuff on the side, then it looks like a motorcycle.
Right. Like you become unstoppable.
Yes, man. And that's what I've spent my career really trying to push and to scream from a top of a building, is that, like, man, the things, like, just looking back in the last 6-7 years in my recovery and the amount of places that I've been and the amount of, and I got in recovery. I rode in an airplane one time when I was a little bitty kid, you know, and when I first got my first, I rode, I can't remember where I went to. Flew to Florida, and that was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in an airplane. This is like 3 years into recovery. And now it's just something that I do constantly. Like, it's just, you can never imagine in your wildest dreams the things that you can acquire when you just follow simple directions, surrender, and say, you know what? The way that I'm living life, it's not working out for me. Mm-hmm. It's got nothing but negativities and negative circumstances and negative consequences. If you can just surrender and say, you know what, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna find some mentors. I'm gonna find sponsors. I'm gonna find coaches. I'm gonna find people that's been where I've been and done what I've done and found the way out. And then not only have they found a way out, they have found success in their life. And we talk about success all the time, and it does nothing to do with money or any of that, right?
No. Success is not a monetary value. Success is how you feel in your heart and how you wake up every day. Like, I am successful because I'm happy.
And the reason I have success in my life, in this term of success, is because I'm around successful people.
I actually just Googled something.
I am around iron sharpens iron, right? So you want. This has nothing to do with money either, but this is just a little thing I always say. If you want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires. Now, it has nothing to do with money. It's not what I'm talking about.
Byproduct of.
It's not what I'm talking about. You want to learn how to cut hair. Go to the freaking barber shop. Go to school. You want to learn how to work on cars. You better get your ass in the garage. You know what I mean? So whatever it is you want, surround yourself with people that are professionals, that are coaches, that know how to do that.
Yep.
You know, and it doesn't matter what that is. You can't just sit on your couch and wish. That's what I did for 20 years, and I'm assuming that's what a lot of us do out here in our addiction, in our misery, in our toxic relationships. We're just sitting on the damn couch and wishing that we would do better. Yet we're sleeping until 11 o'clock in the afternoon. We're Netflixing and TikToking all damn day, and then we get up at night, 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. We make it to the Walmarts and buy some groceries in our sweatpants and Crocs, and we wonder why our life is not where we want it to be. It's just it's a simple. You have the decision to make. Now, the decision can be made, and you can stick to that decision, but it's going to take hours and weeks and years of hardcore grinding to make it happen.
Yeah, I Googled it, and I want to, if you're listening, watching, Google CEOs of addiction.
CEOs of addiction.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
There are study after study after study of the similar characteristics of CEOs and those that struggle with addiction.
I knew it.
There are more CEOs.
CEO, by the way.
If you take the bulk of CEOs, the majority of them have struggled with addiction on some level.
Yes.
Because you're wired this way. Like, I have a brain that doesn't want to shut up. So when I was 12 and I wanted it to shut up and I found a way to make it shut up, I thought I had arrived.
See, I think that's it.
What I didn't understand was that brain not wanting to shut up was going to be my driving force to success on many levels.
So what you're saying is, myself, who took a path, because I had that voice, I had that not comfortable in my own skin, couldn't figure out why I was different, just not in a racing brain. I
felt like I was going crazy.
So me having that in my head at 9, 10, 11 years old, my whole childhood up until that point, and then I found a drink, and I found a way to shut it up. You're saying CEOs have that same thing, but they took a different path.
No, what I'm saying is a lot of CEOs have actually struggled with addiction.
And then there's that. Okay.
And then they've grasped onto the reality of, this is not how I want to live my life. I am built for better. And they took off with it. They took that same drive by just accepting, I know who I am now. Unfortunately, it took a rocky road to get there. But now I'm on. Now it's over. Now you better watch out. Because it's like lighting the fuse and then just waiting. and just waiting and just waiting. And then boom, it's like a rocket ship.
Well, I want to take away that word too, unfortunately, because I am so, I'm going to say grateful again. And
Gratitude is amazing.
You know what I mean? I am so just, I'm in love with the hard road it took to get me to where I am today. You know
I live in that space now. And
the failure,
at work right now, okay, I'm 42 years old. The last thing I want to do is pick up very heavy countertops. Right?
Okay.
I don't care if you go to the gym or not. That's not the same. There's technique to the gym. This stuff is just awkward. It's going in weird places, and it weighs a ton. 900-pound slabs of serious island. I mean, we do like multi-million-dollar houses, so we're talking about big countertops.
Yeah.
And you got to carry them upstairs. Anyways, the whole point is like, I come home sore, and I'm like, I don't think, man, that sucked. I think, damn, I got a lot done today.
Woo! Woo!
Maybe I'm just sick in the head, but I don't think that's what it is. I think I'm just wired to be better than you because I want to be better than me. And when I'm wired to be better than me every day, I'm going to be better than you. Because if you aren't wired to be better than yourself, every day I'm going to be better than you.
You're going to fail.
And if you don't like that, too bad. I'm better than you. You don't like it? Go be better.
Get up! Get up!
I am
Dude,
down.
I want to get up right now. I'm going to go. This is a pumped up show. Are you guys feeling I want to go.
I am down for the competition.
I'm going to the gym right now.
Be better than me.
I'm going to go.
Please.
Lift some weight. No, seriously though, man. It is me versus me out here.
Yes.
You know, and I think the thing with me and you, Brian, is we both want everybody that we know.
Yes.
Every single person we know, we want them to succeed. And I say this all the time. Leaders don't build followers. We build leaders.
I want to pause this for one quick second.
I had a conversation with somebody who said, I want to be like you. I said, man, I see you being better than me.
Chris, do you feel your life has been better even since we've started this podcast, just from simply being around? Because I can verify some of it.
Yes, because now I can pay my bills.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man.
No, I have seen a shift in even Chris, right? He's moving up. He's getting better. He's driven. He's showing up all the time.
Hey,
this is not the stories I heard
and
about.
I'm not afraid to make jokes like that.
Like,
we love Chris.
This is what I mean.
Oh, Chris is.
This is contagious.
It is like it's just like one bad apple, man. You get a bad apple and you put them in with a group of guys or girls. That won't take but 24 hours for everyone else is negative and pessimistic and just complaining and all that stuff. But it's the same way you hang out with the. I say this all the time, man. Is if your circle. Your circle of people, the 5 closest friends to you, if they're not pushing you and prodding you and inspiring you and motivating you and calling you out and holding you accountable and doing this and just all the stuff that it takes, if they're not doing that to you and for you, I want to say for you, then you don't have a circle. You have a cage.
Yep.
And I think so many people get wrapped up and I look at people and they're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then I look at their Facebook post and I see their friends that they hang out with wherever that may be, and I'm just like, well, that dude's got 7 felonies. He's just in jail last week. That dude doesn't have a job, lives at his mom's. Not that any of those are bad, because I'm all of those things, but I'm not currently all of those things. I'm striving to be better, you know what I mean? And you cannot hang out with that and expect. You cannot hang out with negative people and expect to have a positive life. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
So there's 2 sides to both of those when you're talking about Facebook and the post. First of all, if you're posting all of your sad stories, I don't feel bad for you.
I don't want to hear it either.
Like, I don't care.
Take that to TikTok or something.
I'm not gonna send you a hug. I'm not gonna do anything.
What about those
I don't
prayers?
care. I just scroll right through you.
Wait,
right?
what is that? What people ask for a prayer? What is it? No, people are always like,
Send prayers.
Send prayers. Don't ask why. Or
Yeah, it's like.
Why would you do that?
God knows what you need. If you believe in God that much, He knows what you need. If you want prayers, I understand that. Like, if you're dealing with a severe situation and you want people to reach out, cool. But I've done it, right? Because I've said, send me prayers, right? But it's usually for something
negative,
serious. Like, it's not like send prayers because I just got fired.
My boyfriend.
Like, I'm having a hard time because
my boyfriend
I can't get away from my abusive girlfriend or my abusive boyfriend. Like, get over it. I don't care. I really don't care.
Oh man, we
on
love
the other
you.
side of
we
the
love
fence,
you, but God, you need to hang out with different people.
On the other side of the fence, it's difficult for me to people that are like constantly boasting, like constantly.
I mean, people out there that are posting wads of cash or
no, just boasting in general. Like, just did this today. Like, cool, bro.
Like what?
Well, you're driving around in a 25-year-old vehicle, and maybe that's your cup of tea.
Maybe it's a classic.
22.
It's a classic.
Classic rust bucket. I have a hard time like putting the two together. I feel like now you're just flexing to flex because you want a different kind of attention. Like no one cares about your success and no one cares about your sadness. People want to join you in something, not watch you go through something. They don't have time for it. If someone has time for it, they've got a problem of their own.
Well, I think a good to go along with that is everybody's got to realize is that everybody has their own crap. I got crap. Brian's got crap. Even
Absolutely.
Chris has got a ton of crap. You know what I mean? But everybody's got their own crap, man. And if I can't be a part of, or I don't care if it's just inspiration or to talk you on the phone, and I mean I'll help. I'll bend over backwards for anybody who's truly trying to help themselves. But when I get the calls from people that called me a week ago and the week prior to that and 2 weeks prior to that, and they got the same issues going on. Like I'll hear your issues, I'll hear them one time, and then we're not going to talk about your issues any longer. Like I don't want to hear any more about the problem because I am going to start. Now we're talking about solutions.
I'll let you get it off your chest.
One
Absolutely.
time,
Yeah, I'll
one
listen.
time.
I will
That's
always
it.
be a good listener.
But if you come to me tomorrow with the same bag of crap, I'm not listening.
Yep.
We're going to talk about solutions, or we're not going to talk. And if you can't get in that mindset of solution-based thinking, then you're probably not going to be, I'm probably going to ignore your calls.
Well, where you place your focus is where you place your energy. So if you're looking for negativity, you're going to find it.
Come on.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you wake up with a positive mindset, and it's difficult at first, and I get that. I've dealt with it. The other day, I could not sleep. I woke up with a massive headache. Slept wrong.
I thought you had a headache.
No, I was
guaranteed
working all weekend on the property, going straight in, and then know I have to work all weekend long, right?
By the way,
wake up and can't
By the
sleep.
way, is my cabin done yet?
My cabin's not even done yet.
Oh.
Well, our cabin. Hers is first. So we have like a his and hers cabin just because there were 2 on the property. So I was like, you do one, I'll do the other one.
So one of them's mine.
No, but you can put one there.
Oh, okay. Is there room for me?
We'll talk about the financing of the rental.
Is it?
I'm going to use it like it's going to be like a mini mobile home park where you can pay rent
One of them little mini
lot space.
One of them little mini
I'll charge you
places.
like $200 a month. And
Damn. So I'm gonna pay his mortgage on it, is what I'm doing.
I ain't stupid.
I know. That's all the smart businessmen, like they'll buy boats.
Yeah, your money will make money.
They'll buy
your money make you money.
They'll buy planes and
Absolutely.
then they'll charter them out and never pay a dime for them.
Absolutely.
It's genius.
Absolutely.
Genius.
This is the way that you live in the world. But again, these are people that are driven by, I'm going to keep going.
Speaking
The
of
difference between, now don't get me wrong, when I go home, I hang out with the wife. We chill. We watch TV. We're watching Big Brother. We're doing things. Like, I take downtime. I don't just go home and like.
I watched Lucifer.
But I'm where I'm at right now. So when I get ready to go into that grind again, then a lot of those things will go by the wayside. But I have to balance because I have a wife who's very important and she's got needs just like anybody else does. And I'm going to be right by her side. Just like when she's ready to do that or make that move and do things that she wants to do, go.
Let's do it.
Go. I will never hold my wife back. Yeah. Never. And I hate people that try to do it.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
The biggest thing that I want to leave everybody with here today is, and I'm not saying that you don't have an incurable disease. I'm saying it's language, right? We are using words to call things stuff.
It's positive affirmations versus negative
It's
affirmations.
semantics in my world. It's just semantics.
I get that too.
Right?
It is.
You have in my opinion, I have a competitive advantage. I am driven.
Like, there's 2 things that's going to happen if you and I get on a treadmill side by side.
Absolutely.
There's 2 things that's going to happen.
I'm going to whip your and you're probably going to die.
2 things going to happen if you and me get on a treadmill at the same time. I'm going to die, or you're going to get off first.
Yep.
There is no in between. Like that's the drive that he's speaking of that I know he has, that I have, and a lot of people in my circle have. It's that you will not outwork me.
Well,
and the work, I don't mean at work. I mean, you will just simply not outwork me.
Here,
You might have more talent, smarter, beautiful, better looking, whatever. You might have all that, but you will not outwork me.
Those again, now we're talking genetics, right? But let's talk about the competitive advantage.
Okay.
When you look at people that win the lotto and then go broke, they had a competitive advantage, right? They had a competitive advantage. They didn't know what to do with it.
What do you call that?
So they let it ruin their life.
They squandered it.
Then you look at people that grew up rich. Dad was worth millions. Well, as soon as daddy's gone and your money's gone, now what you got? Because you don't know how to work.
Maybe Daddy
your
cut you
competitive
off.
advantage is gone. You had the option. You didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Now look at the flip side of it. A lot of people that grew up in poverty, a lot of those people grow up to be very successful people, the ones that choose to say, this is not my place.
Yeah.
So for those that are like, well, you know, I'm just born into this, I don't care.
That's me.
There's a lot of people born into a lot of things. I was born into, my dad worked his butt off. My dad built a business. He did great. And yet I still went down the road, but I never struggled. I never had to think about food. I didn't have to worry about anything. I had all the nicest toys. And yet I still went down the dark path and had to find my own way.
Well, I had to worry about food and if the lights were going to get on and if we had water running and what house we're going to be moving into next week and this and that. And I went down the wrong path.
Right.
But again, I am grateful for that childhood.
People have asked me 1,000 times, if you
Grateful.
could go back and do it all over again, would you change a thing? And I say no. Every single time, because every single decision I've ever made in my life has led me to right where I am, and I could not be happier.
So there's some tragedy that's happened, you know, in everyone's lives where they, you know, maybe if you hurt someone or, you know, badly, even some of the hurt that we've caused other people,
Yeah.
you know, if they were to, you know, everything in your life happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't walk around on eggshells just trying not to hurt people because I'm going to fail miserably. Like, people just need to realize that everything you have survived everything that you've been through, every horrible situation, everything that you didn't think you could make it through, you have survived it.
Yep.
And ultimately it built you and it created who you are today. And that is a conscious decision that you have to make to yourself. Like, is this going to make me? Is this going to be fuel for my fire?
Right.
Or is this going to be my excuse?
Yep.
Because it is a decision, whether you believe it is or not. It is. Either, you know, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Absolutely. It is all up here.
Yes.
David Goggins it showed up on my TikTok the other day. He was talking to Joe Rogan, and he was like, understand that some people might be calling you fat. And you may consider those people bullies, or you might be fat.
It's true. It's true. You know,
Like, don't
I
give the
love it.
bully the fire. Be like, you're right. Okay, I'll do something about it. I don't care about you.
right. I don't care what you say. You are right. I don't care what you think, though.
Victim mentality is where we're wired as addicts. I'm doomed because it's a disease and I'm screwed for the rest of my life. No, man.
Yeah.
You have a competitive advantage. Use it to drive you, and I'm telling you, if you can get over the hump, you are going to be unstoppable. I'm living proof of it. So are you. Chris, you're on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Can I rent out one of your cabins? I'm having a hard time.
Yes.
guys, we are blessed and unstoppable
Absolutely.
right here on Talk
Yep.
Hard Podcast. If you like this show, like it, subscribe, send it to your friends.
Absolutely.
We will be here next week, every week.
Yep, we're building a community.
That's right. We love you
Nonstop.
guys. Love you.